Hey everybody, it's a cramped quarters today. I'm just testing out, I'm doing a dry fitting of some panels here. I need a place to install the ACU and the EV1 Sensor Core. So I'm just seeing if this will fit this way or this way. And I'll get a 90-degree bracket to fit there. So I'm just looking at trying to get this. This is the Autopilot Evolution EV Sensor Core. This is like, it's got the 9 gyro axis. It basically can detect which way that the boat is turning. Sorry, it's really hard here. I'm sliding down and okay, there we go. So this is like the bracket for it. It's not really all that big. It's just I need to stick the ACU here, and I was trying to figure out just mental space wise how to do this. So this will be kind of like at the back. Oh no, it goes this way. Basically on the underside here there's a little cable that I'm falling again down into this. This is like an awkward spot. But anyways, I cut myself out a wood block. Sorry for all the noise, it's extremely windy today. Anyways, I called not the computers, but the marine store where I can buy some of the electronics. No, this is DeviceNet. So this is either probably compatible with NEMA 2000, that's my guess. So it's either got another uplink or something here. I'll have to read the manual on it to figure out why there's two. There we go. But this is the CTOC side here with this white connector. So basically I just need a little white connector to go from here to, I'm going to put a 5-block bridge here, and then the ACU is going to go here. So that's the gray box. This is the power supply. And then I'm going to run my backbone cable through my loops that I made up here, all the way up to my sailing instruments at the top, because that's a splitter up at the top with a terminator on it. So I'm going to take a terminator off, run my backbone cable all the way along here, and connect into my 5-post connector. And I'm going to move the terminator here, and then I've got 3 things that I can plug in. So I got to plug this in. Then I got to plug the ACU in, and the control head that goes out on the pedestal. So yeah, it looks like it's going to fit, I guess I would say. The only thing is that I'm going to have to go this way as opposed to this way. And I suppose I could kind of go anywhere here. I could go up or down. This is the back of my whale manual water pump. So this is my little handle for it here. So basically if there's ever a water emergency, I just grab my handle and I just start pumping. And then it comes up here and out the hole on the side. That's in case my bilge fails, so that's my manual backup. And then what I did here, just to, before I get going too far, was I just wanted to dry fit it. So I just use a piece of wood to hold that in, and this is going to be a 3/4 inch. I've already previously pulled this out of a piece of bulkhead. Actually did an old bulkhead on the boat, and it looks like I just should be able to put some epoxy, thickened epoxy, and then just give it a solid go here. Yeah, I think that'll bond nicely. I'm just going to give this a little sand because this is really old paint. Just to scuff it up, and you can see that there's raw fiberglass in all the cracks here, so I think that'll work fine. And providing I don't get blown over. It's like super windy. Bought this boat with very little. Had no working engine, no instruments, and you know, I gutted it, I pulled the engine out, and then I decided to go electric. So I put an electric motor in, and had a whole learning curve about that. So I learned about batteries and charging systems and wiring and, you know, house banks, all the different solar panel and monitoring systems. And that's what this channel is about. It's about sharing the knowledge that I learned, documenting my journey as I retrofitted this boat. I'm looking forward to next year. Next year I'm going to be taking the boat out to the coast and to the ocean, and I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully you can follow along and join me. Just a pretty simple mount here. There's a couple of screws, one down there, so you kind of slide it on place, peg it in, and then that's just not going to move anywhere. And then you want this sensor to be facing forward, so that's why it needs, this is parallel with the boat, the axis of the boat, and I'm very close to the pedestal. You can kind of see it up there. So you can see the pedestal just right there. So I'm going to put the control head there. The wire for that's going to come down through, and then I can basically loop it around here. I know it's like super dark right now, but I'm going to just basically loop it around there, and then I'll come up and then connect into the 5-point plug. So I'll have a couple things right here, and then a power run. So my power right now is on the blower. That's this little white one right here. So I'm going to take that off my engine blower, and then I'm going to reuse that for autopilot, and then I'm going to relocate all of my engine cooling over on the other side. I've got a whole other idea to do for that one. I think it's going to be cool. I've been working out how can I get the heating in the cabin or out of the cabin, depending upon where I am and how cold it is. So I should be able to vent out most of the time, but if I want some of that heat in the cabin, I'm going to build a little duct out of fiberglass and make it have a flap that I can basically redirect which way the air blows out of that thing. So that should be cool. Anyways, I'm going to get ready on epoxying, so I'm going to do a little sanding here first, and then going to get ready to just epoxy that in, let it sit. Got a good day today. If you can believe it, we had 3 inches of snow yesterday, and then today was plus 21. It's like, I don't understand. We've had such a crappy winter and spring. It's been impossible to do anything, so I think I'm going to be late leaving when I wanted to go, but yeah, it is what it is. Basically, this is thickened epoxy, if you can see there. And I'm just spreading it out here on this board. This is my my backing plate. I'm going to put more at the top than at the bottom. Since it's 21 degrees, it's actually coming up pretty fast here. I'm going to leave that for a day. The it's good. It's stuck on there. I'm just going to check on it in a little bit. But basically, that'll bond the wood to the side of the cockpit here. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a little band across and kind of tie it in with a piece of fiberglass, maybe on the corners, or do the whole thing like a couple of bands across it. Just to stitch it in as well. So basically it gets thickened epoxies behind, and this is kind of what it looks like here in the end. So these blocks I put on with thickened epoxy behind, got them in the position that I wanted, and then I just put a little piece of fiberglass over the top of the block and then tied that whole thing into the side of the hull here. So I kind of did the same thing. I just give it a little scuffing, and yeah, these have been on there for 5 years now. Just trying to make this compartment a little bit more organized so that I can get in it like I am now and actually work. I guess with it's 21 degrees out there, I mean, it won't take too long. I think it'll be probably an hour, it'll already be sticking pretty well. So I'm just going to grab some water and leave this on here for now, just the way it is, and come back to it and finish it off. So I've got some epoxy. I did 3 pumps. I don't think I need more than that. And I'm just going to tie that board in with that. So this is 3 pumps of the West Systems 105, and I'm using the 205 fast hardener. So I probably only have about 20 minutes here before this kicks off pretty tightly. So it's enough time to get this little bit done. Wetted, and now I'm going to wet down the back side of this one. This is the board I'm going to be using for the other piece, but just doing a quick wet down on it. So just tabbing in the corners. And then these gloves are my throwaway gloves, so I'm wearing double gloves. So when I put it on and I touch it, I get a little dirty. So now I'm clean again, and I got to get another set for the other side. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use my roller, and I'm going to get it down nice and flat. Hey, so while we're waiting for the fiberglass there to dry up nicely, it looks like it did work out okay. I got David up there. Say hi, David.
Hi.
He's up there. I don't know if you saw him or not, but we're gonna pull this cable up. So I left a drawstring up there, and that goes all the way to the instrument panel, and it's hard to see, but there is a small little gap, and it's pretty thin, so we'll have to work it back and forth, but I was able to get this through before. So I've got the pink draw cord, which is kind of small, and that is just taped on here as my, it's basically like a trace wire, pull wire. So okay, go ahead, David, let's see how far we got with it.
Okay, I'm pulling.
Keep pulling.
It's getting harder.
Yeah, keep pulling. Pull. Okay, hang on, let me look at it. It's already stuck. Oh, my block fell off. Oh, that sucks. I must not have had enough glue on that one. Definitely going to reach, so I'll just fish it through on top of this and then through the block more stuff, and I'll have to take that screw off. Can you get me the drill with a Robertson number 2, please? So the blue cable. The blue cable is right here. This is the C-Talk backbone, and unfortunately my block fell off. Looks like it delaminated, or not delaminated, but just I pulled on it too hard while I was sitting here trying to pull myself up on that little block. But yeah, anyways, so I just have to go to here because this is my board that I've got taped in here now. So my ACU is going to go there, and then I've got these two little brackets and these two little brackets. Of course I drop. These little brackets are going to go here. So I've got to just screw that in. Once I get, I just got to screw these little brackets in once it's all dry. So I'll do that tomorrow or later tonight. 6 o'clock? No, so I won't be back. Okay. Okay, so I just need one pump, David. Do you want to give me one pump of in a little bit of silicone, and then, or I can come up and do it if you're. I just gotta put my block back on. All right, so David is stirring, and then I put this piece up here in behind, and I got a cup just kind of holding and wedging it in there till the epoxy dries. And that's basically my my wire tie for the cable, and I'll screw the cable back in up there with a small little screwdriver. And then this is my mounting location, so I'm just going to wait till tomorrow for this all to dry. But basically I've still got the thing holding onto it, but I can feel here this is already pretty stiff, so it just needs to harden. And it looks like I got it nice and pelted down very nicely. I think I'm going to put that up on the wall up there, like that, out of the way. So I've got this piece of wood. See if that fits up there. Yeah, it looks good. I just don't want to epoxy that cord in. So basically, it's starting to harden, so let's get that in there. But basically, run that. That's the result. The block's glued in there. You can see it's kind of squeezing out. It's really gooey, so it's sticking itself right there. And that should be good enough to get this little thing up there. 5-way splitter. And it looks like I don't have any epoxy on any of the wires, so that's perfect. Grip, I guess. This is the ACU100 part of the okay, yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so yeah, no problems. There we go. Nice and solid. The power, so basically positive, negative, and ground for the ACU unit is in here. And then the AB motor, so when I get the wheel pilot, which goes on that helm station over there, basically that wheel pilot will be working on or connecting into that AB port. Oh, sorry, I got this thing on. I can't see in here without this headlight on, so I don't know what kind of frequency range that is, but anyways, pretty cramped quarters. And then it's just got a little lid that goes on it. I don't remember the IP rating, but it wasn't like you can't submerge this thing. But that just basically goes on there afterwards. And then I'm going to put the distribution bar right here to the side. And then the next piece I'm going to put up is the EV Pilot. That's the EV Sensor Core. And this needs to be level and facing directly forward. So what I did is I took this wall here is perpendicular, or sorry, parallel with the axis of the boat. So the boat is directly this way because of all of the weird shapes and everything. That's why I wanted to go off this wall, because I knew that it'd be perfectly straight. And then I just put a 90-degree steel bracket attachment here. and I just screwed that into another piece of plywood, and I'm going to put it here. So that way it's low enough that I can see, and it's out of the way of things too, so that way I can, what's it called? I can see it. I can still put stuff in here. It's out of the way. And then this backbone cable here is going to go up there, up on the top. So I glued that, I re-glued that block down because I hit it. I put my hand on it like this when I was pulling myself over, and I pulled the thing off the wall, or off the fiberglass up here. So this is just basically to hold my wires up. And so I'm going to go put that back up there now. I might have to get my angle. Looks like it went in straight, but at least it's holding it up there. I'll check that after. Make it a little snugger, more snug. And so this is my backbone cable here, and this backbone cable is going to plug into. I'll probably put it over there. That way I can screw it in nice and tight and have that out of the way. All right, now I need to. I believe these are all loose. Yeah. So the C-Talk network here. So that looks pretty level. I'm just going to grab my level. So, I don't know if you can see or not, but where center is. It's funny. Oh, that is off quite a bit. Well, I guess this is what I'm going to go with here. I don't know if you can see or not, but this here is level, pretty close, and that's about where my floor is. This thing is drooping, so I'm going to go with level because my boat more or less is level. So I'm just going to put it right there, which is the same as this. No, that's bang on. And I'm going to say that that's where level should be, because if I look at the board and I'm kind of like my brain is this way, that board is actually leaning down from that piece. So, and that's because this wall is perpendicular this way, but it's got a slight lean on it because it's the backing of the what's it called, that's where you sit up here on the cockpit. So this is the bottom of the seat, so it's got actually a bit of an angle on it. So although it looks a little weird, this actually is level. I'm glad I checked that because otherwise I would have put it crooked. But see, this is level as well, and then my floor is about level in the cockpit. So I'm going to make that match all of that. So that's where that's going to go. And I've got a couple screws here. They're extra long. I don't need it to be that long. I guess it'll make it easier for me when I'm taking this thing in and out. But yeah, that's like 3 feet. I just need a 1-footer, right? I'm not going to use that. That's just way too long. Even, well, this one here is like a special cable because of the connectors, but I just need to go to here. So I think a 1-foot cable would be plenty. And then, so that gets kind of clicked on there. Then this fits in here, facing forward. So it goes that way. And then this thing goes on top, facing forward. Same deal. And that's it. It squishes that down and it holds it in place. So it's suggesting to put a ring down below in here. So I'm going to do that one, just maybe it's to soften the squishiness of it or whatever. So it looks like they gave me a neoprene gasket ring here. There we go. That's all that's required. That's the underside, and then that's the top side. And this is like a little LED here that I'll click on. So yeah, and as you can see, this is a little crooked, the wood is, but that is level. That's level with the floor and level with the bottom here. So all right, so next piece is the control head, and the control head is going on here, and then it's going to take the last cable spot here on the C-Talk, and then this is the backbone that came in, and I've terminated it here with a terminator, and then I'm going to run the power line, which is this white one right here. Just going to pull it off the blower, and I'm going to snake it over here and up. And I don't know what I'm going to do here because I take this up and out, so maybe I'll go up here and down and in, just to keep it out of the way, because sometimes I lift this up and I don't want anything kind of in the way. This is my emergency pump for the wheel pump right behind, and then I've got my wires tied up nicely again. Everything's starting to look good. Alright, so I got to figure out how to take that pedestal apart. Alright, so the saga continues. Well, I managed to get the helm station apart. That wasn't too hard at all. I don't have bolts in the feet, so actually I was able just to kind of like wiggle it and pull it out. It was in there for a long time, so just full of gum material down there on the bottom on the feet. But what I'm looking at now is just underneath here. Give me one sec. This is like easy for me to get into here. Okay, so I'm like hanging. Okay, so up here, that bolt, and then there's one that looks like it's going through the metal, because I can touch the bolt on it. I think I'm going to just drill and then figure out how to get the cable through that hole. This is the hole here. So I kind of cleaned it out, and there's like a little bit of a rim on this plastic piece on the inside that the tube here, this actually just slips in on the outside and it sits on that little ring. So I have to basically hollow out that middle part, but I can't go down too deep because I've got the metal right underneath it. So it looks like I probably should be able to just drill through that to give myself an access hole. And here, I'll show you the other part, or why I need to do that. And I've got a story to tell about this NAVPOD. There's a local marine store. I want the price on it. Yeah, here it is here. So this has been sitting on the shelf since 2018. So we're 2025 too, so it's been on the shelf for 7 years, and it literally has the 7-year-old price tag on it, and it finally sold to me. And I was like, this is the exact one I was looking for, because I don't want to put a lot of stuff on my pedestal. And it's got a little arm so that I can kind of position it where I want, and it looks like it's hollow, kind of like in the middle here. So my wiring, I basically have to drill a hole in my pedestal where it's going to go, and basically slide that thing on, put it in the right place, take the hose out, the thing out, and then drill where I'm going to put it. as a final spot. So this is where my controller is going to go. So anyways, I managed to get this for almost half the price of what it is today, because the current pricing is just that much older, and they were glad to sell it to me because they haven't been selling it, obviously. Anyways, that's my story about this NAVPOD. I didn't want to put like the big box up on the top like some of them, because this little hand grip is only so big, right? So it's kind of the idea is this either slides in on the inside here and, you know, has a way up, or it can be sticking out off to the side. It can be forward, and then this thing turned. So kind of like a pretty versatile little thing here, little box. So I'm just sort of centering that hole to be able to put the cord through. So I'm going to hollow out that whole middle part. Oh yeah, that's going to clear just fine. Basically that white connector has to fit through there, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to do that. Well, I just finished vacuuming, pretty much wrapped up here as much as I can go. I put a temporary cable, a wire through to measure the length. I don't know if you can see in there, but basically I drilled out a hole into here, and then I've got this kind of right where it wants to be. So I've still got to tap these two in. But I just want to play with it a little bit, and as you can see, it's out a bit. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half and just bring it in to about here, so then it's just not sticking out as I walk by here. Sometimes this will be just on the edge of the steering wheel. So I think I'm going to cut that pipe in half and then reinsert it and tighten it down. And then the other thing I got completed, I mean, it wasn't all that big of a deal, so I didn't bother showing it. But the control head, this is the other side. So what I did is I drilled a hole with my hole saw, exact fitting of that instrument back, and it fit nice and snug. And then, so by the time I kind of go down the pedestal and around to the jack, it actually works out to be 9 feet. So I think a 10-foot cable will work out pretty good. I think I'm in good shape, so I'm just going to leave it till tomorrow. Tomorrow morning I'm going to drive out to the marine store to pick up a couple cables, and then I'll come back and I'll hopefully be able to finish this. It's supposed to rain tomorrow too, so hopefully I'll be able to get this done and not get wet. Hey everybody, so what I'm working on here is this little piece here. It's actually the NAVPOD, and that NAVPOD is going here. So I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. I was able to tap the threads out nicely and get the wire pulled. It's down below. But I found that this length here was a bit long. It's like a 6-inch piece, so it's kind of sticking out too far, so I just wanted to cut it in half. And then I found, I went to my supply of old goodies. You can see this goes in a little bit, and then you put the head, it's like way over here. It's like it doesn't need to be that long. So what I've got is picked up a spare piece the exact same size, and I'm actually going to cut this off with a grinder at about half the length, and then I'm going to just give it a quick filing, get rid of any of the sharp edges on it, and then I'll have to drill it and tap, I guess, again. So I've got to do a little bit of work on this, but basically there's kind of like a notch just so it doesn't turn one way, and then I need one, it's for this screw right here, goes right through. So you can see here there's a hole in it, so that hole is about there, so that's how far in it goes. I didn't want to cut the original piece in case I ever wanted it, So I said I knew I had a piece of scrap somewhere, and this is the exact size, everything, so it should be good. Another dreary day, so I finished notching my pipe. Just brought my drill down. So I put a divot here. I was just matching the same pattern as the existing one, just a lot shorter. And now I'm just gonna go fit it. And then I'm gonna drill out one last piece. It's a jungle gym. It's a boat when it's on land. So this was the original piece, and so what I did is I put the hole here and the divot on the same side, so that way my rotation would be alright. So this fits in here, and now this one will be the new one, shorter, to fit in here. That's perfect. So there's basically this little Allen key, and there's a little divot here. Needs to go in, which is right there. Tell you one thing, this NAVPOD, they give you all the tools, they give you everything. It's actually very a good kit. The reason why I wanted to match that divot is that this is how this doesn't rotate this way. So the last thing I got to do is just countersink or tap. I just got to tap this little hole, matching up this threads. So when I tapped these two in, I did the first one and then I drilled or marked the drill, and then I slid it down and drilled the second one, and then I put the holes together and then I re-tapped them both, so that way my bolts easily went in and out, so it was like a perfect fit. This one's only got one, so I think I can, because I've got the cord behind it, I don't want to take a chance, slip this on and then the cord be in the way when I'm drilling, and then I'll end up scouring the side of it. I think I'm just going to tap it right here. This is the 1/4 28 thread tap, and I really just need to get that in there. That's it. So this bolt should fit this now. So it's like perfect. I've already pre-oiled the tap, by the way. You should never tap steel without it being oiled. This tape on just to protect the ends, but I think I made it too sticky. So let's just try that. Huge difference now. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, but And to put it in, it's actually not touching, but just in case it does, I'm just going to put a little piece of tape underneath that rivet, that little piece. I'm just going to put in a standard screw right now, but the screws that they gave me, I just don't have the bit for it. It's like a special screw that I don't have the bit for. It's very non-standard. Oh, look at that. There's the hole. So, I've got to take the screws out of this and turn that 90 degrees. Like, I must have put the cap in the wrong way. It's okay. So, let's see if I can pop this thing out. The holes are in a different spot. Hey, look at that. Because the other hole is just a smidgen off this way. Huh. Going down into the depths. Oh. So, this is the last thing I've got to do. Two last things, I guess, but last thing of this thing is I didn't want to put, there's like these little tie wrap things. It's kind of nicely made. So I should be able to get this little tie wrap in behind and in front and through here. And then I could put that in to take the stress off the connectors on the very top. So now I've got to get my rudder sensor installed. That one's going to be an adventure for me to figure out. And maybe I'll put another little wire clip over here for this side. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that just to put that one up there. Alright, so I think I'm done. Well, I'm done the first part here anyway. So that's my EV1 Sensor Core. That's the 9-axis symbol, and that goes into the CTOC network, and then it connects to the ACU100 here, which is also on the CTOC network. So this is the ACU100, this is the EV1, and then this is my control head. So where I brought it from, I don't know if you can see, but I will try. So you can see the cable coming underneath there, and then I just looped it around so it's staying out of the way of all of the quadrant stuff. Alright, now it's a bit late. Tell you, it's all jam-packed in here. And then up here, you can see the control head now, which is up there. So let's go take a look at it. Oh. Like I'm telling you, this is awkward as hell getting in and out of. Okay, so this is the sensor or the control pilot now, which I don't have any power on yet, but actually, you know, that's not true. I may be able to power it now. Let's go see what that does. I don't know if it turns on or not, with or without the autopilot. Oh, there you go. It does work. I don't have a clue what that means, though. detecting magnetics. So it's still doing stuff. Menu. Mode. Is this touchscreen? Yep. Mode. Okay, well, that's cool. So I guess I put it on the same breaker, or no, there's no breaker. It's on the same CTOC network as my my sailing instruments. So right now this is not getting any data because I don't know how that's working. Oh, its last known was 17.3 feet. Yeah, so the I'm glad it's working. So it powered up with the CTOC cable because there's no power on there yet. But now my next thing is to get the wheel pilot on, and I'm going to read the instruction box on that one now. Hey, well, it's getting late in the day. I'm going to just get one last thing here done. I've got about 10 minutes. This is the Autopilot, the wheel pilot part of the Raymarine kit. And I've got a power cord. I've got a drill bit, a couple drill bits. No, just, yeah, 2 drill bits. And then I've got some screws, 6 of them. I've got 3 silver things and then a bunch of rubber inserts. So I do believe that this is the outside. So this is the top, and I do believe the arrow, wherever I saw it here, goes on the top. And they are really cleverly marked here. It's 4 and 8, 7, 4 and 8, 3 and 6, 7, 3, 6 and 5, 5. So if you've got a different number of spokes in your wheel, the cover, actually this part has already been pre-marked where to drill the holes. And judging by the silver bolts here, those look like they'll fit that. Basically just use the drill bit to drill some holes this size. So just wanted to check. It's exactly that size. It makes me think that maybe this is slightly big. I can't read the number. My eyes are no good anymore. Steel, HSS. So this is a high-speed bit, so made to go through high speed. I wonder why they have the, look at this, it looks like it'll fit that hole perfectly. So that must be the one they want me to use. And then let me just check this screw. Yeah, that screw is smaller than that, so it'll give it a little bit of a buffer room to get on there. So basically, because I've got 6, I'm gonna, or 3, it's 3 or 6, so they only give you 3 things, so I'm going to drill out the 3s here, and the 3 and the 3, and then I'm going to bolt that on the wheel. This is what it looks like inside. So this is the bottom. This is the arrow, goes to arrow. So if that goes on the top, this needs to go on that side of the pedestal, which kind of makes sense, I guess, because then this will be in the middle. This will be open, hanging down. So then these will go in here. You can see this is how the clutch works here on the inside. So the rubber band goes around it, and then when you pull that forward, it pushes down on the band and tightens it, and when you do that, it loosens it, so it'll spin. Actually, I've got it upside down, don't I? Because I need to put it on this one. what I can tell, they go on the inside. So I've just got them kind of like not even finger tight in there. This thing can still move around a bit. So this one goes like that. Looks on there pretty good. Alright, so now I've got 4 black bolts and 1 copper bolt, and I don't know what that's for yet, but I have to put this on somewhere. I think this is the key lock that stops it so that it can actually turn. So there you go. That makes sense to be there because of the what's it called? The pedestal in the middle. So this has to go to the right side. This is the middle. So that has to fit like this, and this goes through here to lock it in place. And that's how, when the motor turns, it basically can go back and forth. Okay, so before that just is like millimeters of clearance. Here. So it looks like I have to cut this to fit the right length. I'll have to read a document tonight on how to do that one. So basically this gets drilled into the pedestal back here, so that's what the other bolts are for. And I'm going to figure out why my compass lighting is a little bit off, and I've got to fish the other wire down here so I can see that I've got a little bit of room, but not much down there. Hey everybody, so I'm just finishing off the Wheel Pilot install. I'm gonna have to just hand camera this one here. I just wanted to show this is the bracket, and I'm gonna mark it. What they're asking for is to mark it to the edge, the back edge of the front wheel, and then add 10 millimeters, and then mark it, and that's where to cut it. So basically, they want to cut it so that it's inset into the front part of the wheel. So there's a hole there, and that's what stops the motor from turning left and right. Basically, it kind of orients itself in that position on the pedestal. I also noticed that the motor touches my steel barb, or the steel post support on the pedestal. So I'm thinking that I might just put a little I don't know, I'm gonna lash it to it somehow. But anyways, I'm just looking for my ruler or my tape measure so I can find something that's got 10 millimeters on it. And everything is eluding me here. This is what happens when you're in project mode. Welcome to the floor of the boat. It's like everything is everywhere. That's the danger of being in the middle of working on things. So I'm getting pretty close to having this Raymarine weekend completed. Man, do you think I could find my ruler? Or I have a straight ruler that I use for doubling it up for charts, and it was out here somewhere, and it is no longer out here. It's like I don't even know where that went. Oh, there's my thing. So you guys here. So I'm just measuring 10 centimeters. 10 millimeters, which is 1 centimeter. So I'm going to just want to be able to touch that piece right here. So you can see this is the support bracket, and now what I'm going to do is I'll just double show you how I got that measurement for the first one. Like I said, it's a bit of an eyeball in the beginning. So you have to get down low. So this piece goes here, and when you look at the, see if I can see it here, when you look at the back of the plate, that's where you want it. You want that mark right on the rear of that plate, and then you want to add 10 millimeters to it, and then that's the cut line. The outer one is the cut line, and then there's a, basically behind there, you can see the little hole, so it goes in right here in this hole. And this is what I was saying, in the middle, looking at it, the hole in the middle, for me, this motor actually touches right here. So I was just double checking that this thing will release and lock with the motor all the way up. It does touch it though. So what I'm looking at is this this clutch release right here. So this thing right here, my thumb is on it. There, my thumb is on it right there. That one. See, when you pull the motor up here, it's hitting that little yellow part, just the bottom of that. Not a lot. So what I might do is I might just take my grinder and just cut that little, shim that little piece off. The other thing I've got going on is that the wheel, this is my brake. So this is my brake on, and this is brake off. And the brake off position, this just touches the back here. And it's actually just this side of this piece. So if I don't want to relocate that, I probably could just cut this little knob off, and then it'll fit nicely behind there, because it doesn't quite go straight. It's a little bit of an angle, so that's actually why. So this is off, and that's releases the brake caliper on the I've got a basically like a disc brake on the shaft, and this is so I can lock my shaft in place while I'm sailing so it doesn't spin, and then when I want it off, I just take it off. So I haven't gone long enough or fast enough for a long period of time to actually see the benefits of regeneration. So I don't believe that there's any benefit to it right now for me. But when I'm out for a long distance in the ocean, you know, if I can get 50 watts of power on the regen side, well, then that's 50 watts. That's going to help me with my instruments, right? All night long, it'll generate enough power for that. So anyways, it's cold. I got a lot of the work done on, you can see my pile of boxes down here. So I got the ACU, the EV1. I've got my wiring. I had to go pick up longer wiring. The kit didn't supply me with a long enough wire. I had a 3-foot wire and I needed a 9-foot C-Talk wire. And then I, for my chart plotter here, I put a little T-junction in for this one, and this is for this chart plotter, and that's because I want to be able to view where I am and put my anchor alarm here, and I need that to communicate with my my older chart plotter, which is here. So I found one used, and I was like, you know what? When I'm sleeping, I can't even hear the anchor alarm outside. So this one here, at least I'll be able to hear the anchor alarm. So for me, that's a safety issue. I contemplated putting it here first, but I really needed it out there for watching the charts while I'm kind of driving. And then the last thing I got installed, this is my little custom job. I'm gonna get this finished today. This is my Raymarine P70 control head. And everything's all apart right now, but I just finished installing that. What I did do though, custom, is I put a 3-inch bar here instead of the bigger 6-inch one that came with. And the reason for that is I just didn't want it to be sticking out so much, so that when I walk by on this side, You can see here there's a little bit more space. Even with the wheel on, I still kind of had to go around, but anyways, I thought that this would make more sense. So this is projects for today. Okay, got it. All right, just getting these last few pieces done. I tell you, it takes a while to get these cables run. And I can start tidying, putting my pedestal back together. Is just for my wire management here. I think I'm just going to coil this excess here and then snake it up and then just put it into this one here. Yeah, and if I needed to, I could still use this one too. That one I can drill through for something else up on the pedestal, so it's good. And then I got one more little twist tie to put that one on the motor cable after I get that in there. All right, I'll show you what it looks like there when I'm done. Tell you, this is the most awkward place to work. I'm at the tail end of this here. I'm just not sure if the blue wire or the brown wire is A and B on this motor. Maybe it doesn't matter because it's a DC motor, but I'd imagine it would be in backwards. So if you reverse them and you thought you were going up, it would go to the wrong way. That's probably the worst that could happen with the motor. This is the one that's going to be a little bit complicated because I don't fit anywhere, so I'm not too sure how I'm going to do this physically. But so this goes on the quadrant, which is in there, and the other end, this needs to basically go on the middle. And then the this is the rudder transducer. This set of wires looks like blue, red, and green, and ground, unshielded cable, and that's what I got here. So I've got red, blue, and green, and brown. And then the way that this works, there's a little, I don't know, it's kind of hard to see here. I think my light is not working very well now. But there's a little nick and a nick. So that is in the middle. So that's what middle is. And then this piece goes on the end, back and forth. So my problem is I need this exact bar extended maybe about that far. And I'll show you why. So what happens with some things, to measure the rudder, the way this works is that if the rudder moves this way, it's to starboard, and if the rudder moves this way, it's to port, and when it's in the middle, it's in the middle. So this can't be on an angle with the quadrant. The quadrant is in here. That's that big piece in the middle there. That's the big piece in the middle right there, and you can see it's a little bit to the left right now. So I have to make a template of wood that'll fit in the quadrant, and I'm going to make two pieces, and I'm going to screw them together so they sandwich in the middle of the quadrant, so that way the quadrant, when it moves, it won't be in the way of anything. And then what I need is I'm going to go and measure the distance of this rudder transducer, and I'm going to measure the distance. I'm going to call it the z-axis. So the x-axis would be this way, the y-axis is this way, and the z-axis is this way. And it needs to be exactly matching this thing. And the reason for that is just things that are moving in parallel. If this was up too far and the other pivot point was here, my displays, like, it would pull it and it would push it. But I think the length, like, you want this rotation point to be at the same rotation level so that they're kind of moving in parallel. Because you can kind of see the tips of my hands go down, they go up, and they go down again. So it's not like a straight thing. The whole bar goes like this, up and back and down to each side. So what I'm going to need to do is that I need to mount this over here, right here. But my problem is that this is a huge steel bracket, and it's also the bulkhead. It's past the pivot point over there. So the pivot point for this thing is actually in the bulkhead. So what I'm going to do, it's actually not a bulkhead, it's just like a rear support. So it looks like it'd be about here. So I think what I'm going to do is I don't know if you can see or not here, but I'm going to just take my hole saw and I'm going to cut a hole in that big. And then I'm going to fiberglass in a mounting plate that'll be flat. And then I'm hoping that with just a little extension, like maybe 6 inches of this bar, it'll actually reach through and I'll be able to put that down. So this part connects on the quadrant, and then this part snaps down on here. And then what I can do is I can basically take this end piece off, get a extension and another bar. Like I said, I need it to kind of come out about 6 inches. The way this works is that's about the maximum extension. Even it would be like that probably. So over here on this post, that's where I need to drill my hole. And then the height level, I'm pretty sure, is about there because of the quadrant. Anyways, as you can see, it's like a huge pain for me. I don't fit in here. So I'm probably going to have to lie down over there, I guess, and put my body in over here this way. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do, but like always, we twist and contorn and do boat yoga. That's what I call it, boat yoga. And then it's a pretty short throw. This is looking pretty good so far. It's a pretty short run to run my cord up, my little thing just up into their sensor, and then I'll have rudder angle transition. So this is this little project is going to take me a couple of days to complete because I can drill, but I don't think I want to fiberglass in the piece, and I want to get the height right. I think the height, if the Z-axis is off a little bit, that's probably okay. But basically what I need to do is I need to get my wood in the quadrant first, and then I need to estimate the path. So once I measure the distance of this thing, I just basically have to estimate where the end of the bolt will go, and then I can put it on. I'm going to center my rudder, and then based upon where this is, that's where I'm going to need the rudder transducer mounted on this side, so I can estimate where I drill the hole. And then once I have the hole drilled, then I'll know where the top of this goes, and then I can drill the hole in the back. And yeah, I think it's going to work okay. So it turns out it's blue on the left. So blue is A on that motor control. And then brown is the right, or is B for brown. Blue, I guess B is blue. Anyways, blue is A, brown is B. And then it also says that if the motor's backwards, you can reverse it by changing the plug at the top. Or you can, it has a way to calibrate it electronically as well. Looking good. Next, rudder. All right, this is not a simple procedure. But I do fit, apparently. Oh. So, and then the last thing I need to do is that this is going to be on the little bar about there. That's where I gotta pin it, and it's got to go through the wall. So good news is that it's almost long enough. And so that'll be the top position. So I might have to grind out that little piece there. So basically what's happening is that, I don't know if you can see or not, but this is still, I've got like about a ½ an inch. So I'm definitely going to have to extend that bar probably about 3-4 inches. So I'm going to take this out, and then it's looking like it's workable. I think. I don't see my jigsaw anywhere.
Where would it go?
I don't know. So what you get done?
I put in a little cover thingy.
I can't see where you go. I can take it.
Okay. I put in
It's called a cable clamp.
a thing called a cable clamp. But basically it's a cover for the hole so that water and stuff can't go through, and the cable can still go around and through safely.
That's perfect. Very good, David. Thank you.
Well, I lined up the holes using the rubber, and then I used the pencil to draw like where to drill through the holes. Like I stuck the pencil through the hole, and then I used the drill to draw pilot holes, and then I just used a screwdriver and screwed the screws on.
What?
My pants are ripped on my butt.
Oh no, how'd that happen?
I don't know.
Is it bad?
Yeah, it's bad.
Uh-oh. David ripped his pants. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah, that's much better. I'm just gonna borrow this light. Yeah, that looks perfect. Can I go that way? Yeah, either way's good. All right, so I'm gonna cut a thick one to fit in here. Then I'm gonna put like a 2x4 so it's up higher. And then I'm gonna screw that end in and then figure out where I'm gonna drill through that side. But this is gonna be a huge pain. I think I'm gonna commit to getting in here all crooked like to be able to do this. So I think it's gonna work. So this is the part that will go in the quadrant, and then it will have the transducer bar mounted right in the middle on it. Gave this a nice little cut. You can see my initial mark, and then I went 10 millimeters out, so 1 centimeter, and that's just supposed to go through here. So I need to get this on here. This is nice and loose now. That's good. I was worried that there's too much resistance here, but it seems like it's a piece of cake. We've got her wired up. We've got the wheel pilot on. It looks, let's That's the piece that I added in, the little stopper. My brake is on. Still got to deal with that. I'm going to trim this little back piece of it. So I'm going to sand that off. And we just finished putting the power on. And then I'm going to give that a go. David, I need the light, please. Okay, go ahead and put the sailing instruments on.
Okay.
Okay, I see red right there. Okay, it's good. It's got power, and it went green.
Yeah.
Okay, now turn on the autopilot.
It's on.
Oh, you know what? There is a light here that went red. There it is. So this one went red, then green, and it went off. Oh, it's green again. It's flashing. It must be booting. Okay, it's got a little green light. Green is good, right?
Probably.
Green is good. Green is good. All right, we got power, David.
Does it work?
I don't know. Let's see if it actually does something. Auto. It turned. Standby takes it off. And it doesn't work with it in standby mode. So it can't detect anything here, so I'm going to just leave it off, but it is trying to move it and do something. I'm going to have to read the manual, I guess, right, and figure out what this is.
The wheel doesn't move.
Setup. Well, let's get the GPS on there, David. That's all we're missing.
Up there?
Yeah. So we got a J bracket somewhere over there. And we're going to put the AR200 up off that one or up off this one. And I'm not necessarily sure where to put it, but if we put it here and we just go right to the edge of the solar panels, then it's not going to get in the way of the Starlink. And it'll be about there, which will be a wide open sky. Or we can just stick it here. So put the bracket on and have it at this end of the bracket. And then we'll just basically have it right at the edge of the solar panels. I didn't want it too high because I don't want it on the solar panel, out above the solar panels. And then we'll just run the cord down the back leg, down here, and then we'll bring it in. So I'll have to drill another hole and get another one of those Blue Sea Systems waterproof cap. So we'll put it right above, and then I'll have that cable coming in here. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's do the bottom one. Okay, top one.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's pretty solid now. So we're just putting that AR200 up. Show you what it looks like. I don't know if you can see right there. So that's the top. We got the arrow pointing forward. And then from down below, this is what it looks like. So we're going to take this cable and then we're going to fish it down here. And I'm going to go get another drill to drill this hole and put it inside. And we're going to hook it up and then see if it's actually working. These are awesome bits. I can't remember the name of them. Lennox, maybe? They're bimetal bits, but they work great for cutting stainless steel. And they just make like no work at all at doing the, what's it called? Fiberglass. It just eats through there. So I've got the quadrant base plate in, and then I've laid down my bar so that it's kind of like dead center on the pivot point, and I've got that at about the right length here, based upon the transducer. So I'm going to do one more double check, but can you pass me the transducer, David? So the transducer needs to go at the same point. So that would be about there. So I'm going to bring it a smidgen forward. Probably right there. And that's because that's the only way to make these two things parallel. So I'm kind of lining up the back pivot, and I can see I'm touching that thing, maybe even smidgen forward still. So I'm going to put it right there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark my two holes. One hole, two holes. And then afterwards, we're going to take this thing and I'm going to mark the hole on the side right exactly where I need to drill. Can you see if you can mark that? Just put a dot right above it. Put your head in and look, you can see the thing here. Do you see it? Just mark right above it.
Okay.
And then mark below it. Okay, good. And then I'll drill in the middle of it. So, this is not an easy spot to work. Thanks, David. Okay, take this out, and then we're going to mount that in there next, and then we'll take this piece out. Oh, I'm pretty close to the middle. Look at that, I was only off by, what is that? I was off by maybe 5 millimeters, 6 millimeters at the most. That's a pretty good guess. I'm a little off center, but that's because my wood cutting skills aren't perfect. Working off a template. And you are 100% sure that's a dead center, right?
What do you mean? It's
dead center in the rudder?
Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah, okay. Perfect. Thank you, David. Yeah, I got through from the other side, so let me go to the other side end. I see a light over there anyway. This is one cramped location.
That's for sure.
I'm gonna I got the screws half drilled so I can fit my the drill underneath. And then I don't want them to be too tight. I just needed to hold that thing on there. Okay, got one in, but I can't see the other holes. Can I?
You got a feel for it?
I think so. Nope, there, I got it in the hole right there.
I'm gonna grab it.
Oh, okay, hang on. Oh. That's one. That's two. Oh, it's not going in. That's not the two. There we go. Okay. I'll get the back one. Okay. Oh, that's tight now. Last one. This one. Oh, okay. I think we're good, David. Got it on.
Nice.
I just gotta drill out that thing over there and figure out how to get out of here. I can leave that there. Could I just get the bar while I'm here? Thank you. Just want to do one last double check. Yeah, that looks pretty good, David. Like, it's on. It's like perfect. I think that's perfect. All right. Oh, that was not easy. I want the key locked.
You got it. Oh, there's a hole.
Success. Okay, last thing. So pass me that bar again. That's the little bracket thing that holds it. So it's just a bit short. I could, I guess I could carve out that whole section, basically dig all of that out, but I don't think I need to do that. I think I can just extend that like another, I don't know, 6 inches to here and just stick it here. So that's what I'm going to do. David's putting the controller arm back on. Alright. So it looks like I need to make that a bit bigger, eh? So I'm going to have to go with my jigsaw up and around and then just take out this corner here. You can't turn the thing. My hand's just in the way. Oh, see, it's still got a bit more to go.
It's because you keep pushing it farther back every time.
Just pass me the vacuum and let's call it a day. It's actually, it was about this long, it was about this short for me. So what I did was I went to a local hardware supplier and I was able to find some threaded rod. And what I'm going to do now, because I said this might be a bit long, is I'm going to put this into the old one and hopefully this is going to be long enough. So basically I found a 3-footer and I cut it 6 inches longer than the original one. So it's a bit longer and it's a pretty stiff rod. There's not really a lot of tension on this thing. It's not like it's sideways holding. So it's just moving a spring back and forth. So to me this is going to be okay. Although the manual does recommend only from 3 to 12 inches. So now I'm 18 inches. Roughly, a little bit less. But so this little piece is almost perfectly aligned. It just needs to be up a little bit, so that way this side is just in the middle of my hole. My other option is drill out the hole a little lower, but that should be fine. So what I need to do is I need to make myself a little block that will basically fit right in there, and then this is the peak position. So this little hole here on the right, I don't think you can see that, eh? So this little hole here on the right is going to be in the middle, as long as I have this tilted right. And if I get it perfectly flat, as the thing gets closer, you can see I probably need to notch out this area and make a little hole. So I'm going to find, once I get this transducer locked down in the right spot, how much further down this way when I'm 60 degrees is, and then I'm going to basically mark that and drill that out, and then I'm going to use my reciprocating saw or my jigsaw just to cut out in between. Hey, so I've got another, it's dropping. It's going to be -2 Celsius. It's April. And it's going to be the next 2-3 days, it's going to be just crappy cold. So no more fiberglassing. I just tried to get that last little piece in to support the rudder transducer, the angle detector. And I'm hoping that it'll be dry enough tomorrow that I can kind of bolt in and get the rest of it kind of scoped out. I was also looking at the rudder, and the rudder is not supposed to go more than 60 degrees either direction, and I'm not 100% sure how far it goes if it's more than 60 degrees. But there is a stopper on the back of the quadrant that's actually physically hits the quadrant on the back. So I could probably, if I had to, I could probably put a couple of blocks in there to like make it so the quadrant can't quite turn as far. Because if you go more than 60 degrees, you'll actually break the transducer. Because the transducer can only go 60 degrees from the center for each side, which is kind of normal. Hello, so I'm pretty happy the way this turned out. I'm going to give you a show here. So this little red indicator is the top dead center of the rudder. So the rudder is kind of in the middle there. Getting down here. Oh. Okay, so this is what she looks like. So my rod comes through. Oh, this is the only way I could kind of dream it up a little bit here, was that I had to kind of cut this, then I spun that to be dead center. There's like a little mark on the back, and then I didn't cut this level. I kind of went up at the back, so as the bar arced, it kind of went down a little bit. And then this one here, I had to do about 3 or 4 shavings off to get this level, so that way when it turns left or right to port starboard, it's level with the quadrant. And you can see here on the quadrant, I've got that other piece. So I put some wood in there, and it's basically sandwiched right in the quadrant down below with another piece of wood. And to fix that down, I had to use, I double screwed it. So what basically I kind of like, once I got it in, I put an extra screw over on the side and then on the side so that the base can't spin. I don't want the base to spin ever. And this thing can go a maximum of 60 degrees, which is really quite far. I just realized that when I did my initial calculations of the distance that it travels with my compass, or not my compass, my my protractor. Man, that's like an old thing from high school. Something that like the half circle with all the lines on it. I have one that moves with the rudder, but it's inside out, so it actually showed 60 degrees when I was doing it, and I was like, well, that's really close. I have to put like something in to stop it, but it was just not reading it right. It was actually 40 degrees. So now that I've got it in here, this thing here can only travel 40 degrees and 40 degrees. So my rudder is not turning more than what this plastic transducer can actually function. So when I hit the stoppers are in there. You can kind of see the little black mark on the very end. That's the grease from the stopper hitting the paint on both sides there. So that's the port side, and this is the starboard side. And I'll just give you a demo of how that works. So this is to port. That's max. So you can see I'm nowhere near the end of the cutout that I did. And this is all the way to starboard. And it's still nice and good. And my the rod that connects the transducer to the quadrant is right in the middle. Really happy the way that turned out. So that just gonna tie in the wires, and that puts a button on that project. I think I'm done. 92%. I turned off all the charging. Just basically been running everything off the batteries. It's been it was -4 Celsius last night, and it's April 8th. It's like, I don't know what's going on with the weather. I've never seen it this cold. So we had a pretty tough winter. I'm very behind, so I pushed my launch date 30 days. So instead of going in 2 weeks, I'm actually going to go in 6 weeks from now. And that's going to give me enough time. I need some warm weather to get this insulated, skinned, fiberglassed, and then painted. I'm hoping I can get that far, but basically I need to get this part done and then fiberglassed all along the walls here. Make this all one, then just do the finishing. And then I have to skin this quarter berth walls. I'm going to kind of keep it really simple. I'm just going to skin it and that's it. And then here I want to finish the head. This is like a trash compactor just full of stuff. I've got to take those fans out. I'm moving all the water cooler over here. I already pulled the power all the way to the very end. Anyways, more on that later. I'm going to close off on this video here now just by rewiring that, tying the wiring in, and then I'm basically done that project. I just got to tidy up my wires. And yeah, I think that's it. I'll need another. Remove after installation. Well, that's it, guys. So anxious to try this out, see what it looks like. So somewhere in here, and I don't really know where. I've never used this autopilot thing before. I put it on, but not. So this here is my autopilot. I gotta put the finally I got a plug for it, and I'm gonna put 3 breakers in now. So I'll take these screws out and put in 3 new breakers. And then